What's up, YouTube? How we doing? What is going on? I was just behind the scenes with the witches in the bunker for the weekly refuel intro, saying hi to everybody. And now I am here with you to talk to you all about regulating your nervous system. And this is specifically for the witches who work, okay? Um, let's get started right at the top. This is the weekly refuel, and this is the last weekly refuel that I'm going to be doing for a little while. One second. All right. So back to it. Like I was saying, you are tuning into the last of our weekly refuels. We have gone live every single week since January, and I have brought you a presentation on an important aspect of running your spiritual or wellness business. So, whether that is business formation, we talked about filing our LLCs. I shared with you my business formation checklist. We talked about taxes. We spent an entire month. We had Karen Gargiso of Sacred Money Inc. come in and talk to you about important tax considerations because maybe you've never filed your taxes, including your business stuff. Maybe all of that is really new to you. We also had Taylor Tiemann, who is the founder of the Legal Mega Library. She's an attorney out of the West Coast, specializing in trademarks, contracts, and copyright. And she came through to help us with concerns and information about our logos and our names, and do we need contracts when we're doing tarot readings, etc. We talked about marketing extensively. We had a whole month of weekly refuels all about different aspects of how to market yourself beyond social media, how to market yourself on social media if that is your focus. And so we've covered so much material in the last 6 months. So, first of all, I want you to go through this playlist. If you're tuning in on YouTube, there's at least 30 videos that you can learn from. So, if you are a tarot reader, a Reiki healer, a massage therapist, any type of spiritual or wellness practitioner, the healing part comes naturally. The business part probably doesn't. And if you need help with that, I have provided so much educational information for you over the last 6 months to help you on your journey. Now that we've done that, I realize that it's time to actually integrate this information. We can learn, but at some point we have to sit down and actually start applying that. So the weekly refuel sessions are going to be transitioning into what I am calling our expansion sessions. And I'm really excited for this because as the owner of a physical co-working space, having a virtual co-working space is also, like, to me, it just makes sense, right? You all don't live in New York City. You all are not local to the Bronx. You can't necessarily get to which work, but co-working might be something that can really help you hold yourself accountable, help you dedicate a specific amount of time every week to getting work done on your business, and allow you to build community and not feel like you're always doing everything by yourself and alone. So if you can see that little square right there, you are looking at the bunker main room. The bunker is my private virtual membership space for witchpreneurs. This is where we share information, resources. It's where we hang out. It's where we have virtual events, etc. And I have designed these interactive and engaging rooms powered by Go Brunch. Shout out to Go Brunch. That literally took the vision of what the bunker is in my mind and put it into real life. So you are looking at one of 7 rooms inside of the bunker. This is the main room. This is our hangout and co-working room. And we are going to be coming together every Sunday morning from 9 to 11 Eastern to just co-work and chill. Okay. There'll be soft music playing in the background. I'll be starting each session with an intention to focus us, and then everybody's going to be working on their own thing. So if it really helps you, and I was talking to a couple better witches about this who are like this, if it helps you to get work done when other people around, like if you find yourself being more productive when you're in a library, or even when you're like commuting on the train or working in a park, if it feels good to have people around you while you're working on your own thing, virtual co-working sessions will be really helpful for you. And I'm really excited for the expansion sessions to start. The first day is going to be July 6th, and you are going to be able to talk to each other and talk to me in the chat. So that means while you're working on your spiritual business, if you have questions that come up, hey, where do I go to get the form to file my LLC? Hey, who should I talk to about this tax question? I'm going to be available in the chat. So this is a great way to also be able to pick my brain, ask questions, and get answers without necessarily having to set up a full hour-long session or enroll in one of my programs. The way to take advantage of the expansion sessions is going to be through the bunker, completely exclusive to the bunker witches. The good news is you can join the bunker for free. The link is down in the description. And when you join the bunker, you get 7 free days. So take advantage of that free trial, really get to know us, interact, say what's up, come to the events that we're hosting, and really see the value that the bunker space will bring to you, and you can decide if you want to stick around for the long haul, which I think you will. All right. So I really feel good about this last weekly refuel being about the topic of regulating your nervous system. And I feel so good about it because in my own 5-year journey, by the way, if you don't know who I am by now, I am Allie Kravitz, aka Bronx Witch. I'm the founder of Witchwork, a co-working space for spiritual and wellness practitioners, the only one like it in New York City. That's where I am right now. And I'm also the CEO of BetterWitch Coaching, which is my class and coaching platform for spiritual and wellness practitioners. I offer classes, I offer one-on-one coaching, retreats, etc. My goal is to see a world where spiritual and wellness practitioners don't have to choose between survival and serving their communities. I want all of you to have the option, if you want it, to be able to replace your 9 to 5s with the spiritual work that you do. And the way to do that is to build a thriving business from your gifts and knowledge. So, because I've done that for myself, I help other witches to do that. And on this 5-year journey that I have been on, owning this space, teaching other people about the craft, helping them build their spiritual businesses, there was really like one big thing that I was neglecting, and it was hurting me more than I realized. Right. So I'm out here giving myself a crash course in business. I do not come from a business background. I'm a law school dropout. I grew up here in the South Bronx to a single mom, low income, who didn't work on government assistance. I am somebody who has had to take the initiative to go out and get the knowledge that I need, get the resources, meet the people, all of that stuff. None of that was given to me. So all of my focus for the last 5 years has been go, 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 get smarter, take every class, learn every new thing, like do it all. And on the one hand, I'm grateful for that, because I have learned so much. It would shock you. Basically, I've learned so much that I can now teach others. Um, and I'm really, really proud of myself for doing that and really taking myself and my business so seriously that I was willing to sacrifice going out, traveling, all of that in order to become the CEO that I wanted to be. But what I was neglecting during that process was my own well being. And last week, we talked about how to create a calendar for yourself that is sacred in nature, that is spiritual in nature, that takes into account things like your astrology and your human design, etc. So we talked about the spiritual element, but now I want to talk about the physical element, because I'm not just like a woo woo witch. Like for me, science is at the foundation of so much of what I do, what I'm capable of doing, and how I teach. And what I have learned the hard way is that your business is only going to be as healthy and as happy as you are. Okay. The analogy that I've been using with all of the better witches in our one-on-one sessions is that your business is a baby. It's a fetus, really. It is a forming baby that is inside of you. It is not yet independent of you. It cannot survive without you just yet. And it is still a little weak. It would not be able to be okay in the world on its own. One day, with your work and effort and time, you are going to build it into something that is independent, that can walk on its own, that can go places where you don't have to take it. You're going to be able to take a month off of work, or 2 months off of work, and your business is still going to be able to operate and generate you revenue. That's the goal. But right now, you're in the early gestation period. Your baby, your business baby, is inside of you, which means if you smoke, your business smokes, right? If you are not eating well, your business is malnourished. So it is completely delusional to think that you're going to build a healthy, happy, strong business that is capable of being birthed and standing on its own 2 feet if you are not well. And I really wasn't thinking about that. And I was running myself into the ground. My body was falling apart. Okay. Falling apart in so many ways. And I was telling myself, like, that's just what it has to be, because you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice. Like, you'll get healthy later. Right now, it's all about learn more, grow the business, etc. And it took me a while to realize that the reason that my business wasn't doing all the things I wanted it to be able to do, which is to run independently, was not because I wasn't doing enough. It was because I wasn't healthy. I wasn't healthy. And what like made that light bulb go off for me, shout out to Samantha Garcia, who is the author of Regenerative Business, a book that I have been recommending to every single witchpreneur I meet. Bunker Witches, you can find it in the recommendation session in the feed. Um, phenomenal book. Everyone should read it. But the chapter on nervous system regulation was the thing that made me go like, oh, wow. Now I understand. I have all this knowledge. I'm working 20 hours a day on my business. I'm putting absolutely everything into it. Why do I feel like I'm not moving to the next level the way that I want to? When I read that chapter, I completely understood where the issue was. And the issue wasn't with my business per se, it was with me. In that chapter, Samantha breaks down all of the signs and symptoms that your nervous system is out of whack. And as I was reading that, I was literally like, check, 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 check. Oh, shit. I literally have all of these symptoms. That's crazy. And it made me cry. I broke down and cried after reading that chapter. Not out of sadness, out of relief, out of a sense of relief, because I felt like I finally figured out what the problem was and what to do about it. And that was an incredible feeling. So if you are sitting here right now wondering why you can't get your business to the next level, even though you are giving it your all in terms of hours out of your day, getting education, taking the classes, doing the webinars, doing all the things, there's a really good chance that it's not that, it's you. It's you. So, why is this important? Your business is never going to be stronger, happier, or healthier than you are. So, you have to make sure that you are strong, happy, and healthy. What? What is your nervous system? You might hear this phrase all the time, but if you don't remember science class, you might not remember. But the nervous system is the system of your body made up of several different organs and parts of your body that basically is your body's communication system. This is how your brain tells your body what to do. It's how your body talks to itself. And when your nervous system is out of whack, you are not able to receive the messages that you need. So if your body is flooded with freak out, anxiety, oh my God, fear, run away, don't do that. If you're being avoidant, if you're riddled with anxiety, this is all related to your nervous system and the messages that your brain is sending your body. Your nervous system can be regulated in a number of ways, and we're going to talk about that. But I first want to impress upon you how your nervous system talks to your body, basically, like how it communicates to you. Because I had a very profound like realization, which was, if I do not regulate my nervous system, if I don't control what messages are running through my body, then the opposite is happening and my body is literally controlling me. And that was like a scary thought, that my body is controlling me. That if my body is receiving messages and sending signals to freak out and be anxious and be afraid and be scared, that I have the ability to control that, but I'm not taking control. And I'm letting all of that fear and anxiety dictate how I run my business. And I want it to be the other way around. And you should want it to be the other way around too. You should want to be in control of your body. If there's something that you want to do, you should be able to say, "Body, let's go do that." If you want to be able to sleep at night and you get in bed, you should say, "Body, go to sleep." And it should say, "Yeah, absolutely." And you go to sleep. It shouldn't say, "Nope, I'm going to be sitting here with insomnia. I'm going to be sitting here thinking about a million different things and I'm going to keep you up at night." That's your body being in control of you. And we don't want that. Our nervous systems being out of whack also means that if we're not in control of the method of communication in our body, it means we can't listen when spirit is talking to us. When spirit is telling you, it's okay, calm down, you're going to have everything that you need, and your body says, no, you won't, freak out. Spirit's not going to take care of you. It's not going to show up for you. You have to figure it out. You have to figure it out all by yourself. You literally will be disobedient. You literally will be ignoring the message that God has for you. So, allowing your nervous system to be out of whack and allowing your body to tell you what to do instead of the other way around is not only a recipe for disaster for your business, it also disconnects you from God. It prevents you from hearing those messages and actually listening to them. So we're talking about something really huge here. This is not just about like, resting and like, oh, I want to feel calm. Your nervous system is your communication pathways. And if you're not in control of it, you are missing out on the ability to listen to the messages that are being delivered to you. And as spiritual practitioners, that is antithetical to everything that we are. Why read tarot? Why do divination? Why sit in meditation? Why look for signs and symbols? Why learn astrology if when you receive a message through those modalities, you ignore it because your body's in charge? If you sit down for a tarot reading and the message that you get from the divine is that you should make an investment in your business because it's going to pay off, and your body says, no, 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 I'm too afraid of that, and you listen to your body instead of the message that came through from the divine, what in the hell was the point? Why do the reading in the first place? Right? So, when we receive the messages that we need in order to make smart choices in our lives and in our business, the next step is to be able to actually listen to the message. And if your nervous system is out of whack, you literally can't do that because your body is in control. So, this is serious. All right. So, how do you know if your body is in control? How do you know if your nervous system is out of whack? You can definitely look up, like, different symptoms and disorders that come from your nervous system being out of whack. But I'll tell you about the ones that in particular I was dealing with. So, one big sign is restlessness and anxiety, a general feeling of nervousness all the time, like you're waiting for something bad to happen. Okay. That is your body being in charge. That is your brain communicating messages for your physical survival that are not based in reality. Most likely, the world is not going to come crumbling down right now, but your body is acting like it is. Okay. So, restlessness and anxiety. And like, check these off in your mind. Think about whether or not you are experiencing any of these symptoms. Nervousness and nervous system disorders can also lead to digestion issues. So, are you dealing with digestion issues? Do you easily get an upset stomach? Do you go to the bathroom too frequently or maybe not really at all? Is your digestive system operating in a way that feels inconsistent? You don't have a regular routine. Um, do you find yourself not being able to eat foods that you used to be able to eat with no problem? So ask yourself if your digestive system seems like it is okay, or if there seems to be anxiety and tension there, or some type of inconsistency going on there. What about your skin and what about your hair? Probably wouldn't think that your nervous system has anything to do with your skin and your hair, but it does. When your nervous system is out of whack, you might see dramatic changes in your skin. Did you all of a sudden get acne when you have been acne free for years? Are you finding your skin is suddenly really dry or that you find yourself with breakouts that you can't understand? Is your hair growth changing? Do you find yourself losing hair in a way that you can't attribute to something like male pattern baldness or alopecia? You can't really explain maybe why your hair is thinning or it seems to have stunted its own growth. Insomnia is one of the biggest signs that your nervous system is out of whack because you literally are tired. You're tired. That is why you decided to go to bed. But despite being genuinely tired and in need of rest, you are not able to sleep. That is a huge sign that your nervous system is not regulated well. So take a look at your life, take a look at yourself, and see if you check off any of these symptoms. If you do, and especially if you have multiple of them that have come about as you've been leaning into your practice and taking it more seriously, then there's a really good chance that you are not regulating your nervous system as you go on this journey of building your business. And that was the thing that helped me to see exactly that this was my issue because all of the things that I could check off the list when I looked at it, I realized that they started somewhere in the last 5 years. They were not issues that I had necessarily previously. So I was able to see that not only was my nervous system out of whack, it was directly related to how I was operating my life trying to grow my businesses. So see if you have those symptoms and see if you can pinpoint when they started. Because if they started around the same time that you started getting serious about your business, then that means that your approach to how you're going about growing your business is not taking into account your nervous system and caring for yourself in that way. So, how do we change that, right? Because we want to fix that. So, some of the things that are contributing to, first of all, I will say, growing a business is stressful, period. Growing a business is stressful, just like having a kid is stressful. There's no version of life. Like, don't let the internet lie to you. There's no version of life where you grow a business and don't feel stress, don't feel anxiety, don't have sleepless nights, don't burn the candle on both ends and maybe have to work 18 hours in a day for a period of time. There's just no version of that that exists. When people tell you that like they figured out how to sit on a beach and do absolutely nothing and they have a thriving business, that is a bunch of BS. They're probably scammers. They're making their money from just convincing people that they sit on a beach all day and make money. That's not the same thing as building a business that is independent of you. So know that it's going to be stressful, but there are other things that you are doing that are not just contributing to stress generally in your life, but are actually making your nervous system out of whack and incapable of keeping you at a certain level of calm and mental clarity through the process. So, I always want people to know that, like, I am right in this with you. Okay. I am not preaching down at you. One of the things that might be negatively contributing to your nervous system's well being is your caffeine intake. And I am sitting here saying that with a coffee mug the size of my head next to me. Okay. So I'm not perfect. I'm working on these things too. I have decreased my caffeine intake and I took a 30-day break from it when I realized that I was drinking far too much and it was not helping me in the long run. It was contributing to my anxiety, contributing to my insomnia, making it difficult for me to rest, to relax, and to think clearly. Okay. So your caffeine, I think I saw some people leave the live. So I know, I know, I get it. It's okay. I'm not saying you have to quit today. But realize that the caffeine that you are intaking might be contributing to your inability to regulate your nervous system. Another contributing factor is alcohol. Alcohol also diminishes your ability to regulate your nervous system, but also, if you've ever been drunk before, then you probably know that it contributes to poor judgment and lack of discernment. And when you wake up the next morning and you realize, oh my God, I left my keys and my phone at that bar, or oh my God, I can't believe I said that thing, or I did that thing, or oh my God, I'm so hungover that I'm not going to be able to, go film that YouTube video that I was going to film. That contributes to your nervousness and anxiety. It pushes you further behind. It adds chaos and stress to your life that you don't need and that doesn't help you to stay calm and clear. So I'm in no way judging you. I was a bartender for 15 years and I literally was out drinking this weekend. Okay. So I am not saying this from a place of like, you need to change your life and I'm so great. No, but I'm paying closer attention to how those decisions and how consuming those things impact my life. Okay. So look at what you're consuming. There's a really good chance that if you have caffeine or alcohol in your diet, that is not helping your nervous system. Another thing contributing to your nervous system unrest is a lack of true rest. And if you're not sure what the difference between rest and sleep is, then go back to last week's refuel session because I broke down what the difference is and how important it is to make sure that you give your body rest. Sleep, yes, but also rest. And the two are not necessarily the same thing. You can be sleeping and not resting. If your brain is going a million miles an hour in all types of horror scenarios, the fact that you might happen to be asleep at that present moment doesn't mean that you are resting. So if you lack genuine rest, then your nervous system is probably out of whack. If every waking hour is filled with something. If you're the type of person whose calendar literally from the moment you wake up until you go to bed is just filled with stuff to do, stuff to do, stuff to do, stuff to do, then you are not incorporating rest into your life. And that means that your body never has the chance to relax and realize that it is okay. So it's in go mode, it's in freak out mode 24/7. Another thing that might be contributing to your nervous system lack of regulation is digital overload. Okay. And this is for two reasons. The first reason is that all of these screens that we sit in front of, the phone in your hand, the computer in front of you, the TV on, etc., all of these things that we are carrying, these different devices, are emitting different types of electricity and different types of frequencies that are disruptive to the human body. And there are tons of studies on this. You can Google that and look up the different studies out there on how these devices disrupt our body's ability to regulate itself. But it completely throws our nervous systems out of whack. We need them to function in this world at this point. And I think if you're building a business, it's going to be very difficult if you do not have electronic devices at your disposal to help you to do that. So, not using them at all is, I don't think, very realistic and not something I'm saying you should try to do. But how much are you using them? And when you're using them, are you using them with intention? If you're going to be pumping your body full of, waves that are disrupting your nervous system, let it be for a reason and a purpose. If you're going to spend an hour with three different devices vibrating all around you, then let that hour be useful to you in some way. So, how many hours do you spend on these devices where you're just doom scrolling? Right? Where you're not learning anything, you're not, picking up a new skill, you're not making progress in your practice in some way, you're not reaching out to your customers, your clients, you're not engaging with people that you can grow with, you're literally just on it to be on it. How often are you doing that? And how can you change that? You might wanna use your phone's features. I gotta tell you, this is the win, okay? This is the win with the phone features. I don't know about Androids because 'cause I'm an iPhone girl. I know, don't judge me, whatever. That's just the life I've chosen for myself. And on the iPhone, you can control your screen time. You can track your screen time, but you can also set up controls that will turn off your apps, turn off your messaging, turn off your ability to get a phone call during certain hours that you can set up for yourself. So if self-control is difficult, and it's designed to be, trust me, they have set up these apps and set up these devices in order to make them very addictive and very hard to turn away from. So maybe you need some extra help with that. Utilize the features on your phone. Or maybe you can download an app. This is another thing I got from Samantha Garcia, the author of Regenerative Business. Shout out to her. She recommended that I try the Freedom app, and I am loving it. You do have to pay for it, and this is not a plug from them. They don't know me. But I am obsessed with it because my phone has features where I can, like, it turns off my apps at certain times. But the problem with those features is you can just hit dismiss and then move on, right? So if I put a control that says, turn off my Instagram at a certain time, I can just hit dismiss and then be like, forget it. I'm going to go on anyway. And I keep doing that. The Freedom app doesn't let you do that. It literally locks your apps and you can't just hit a button and dismiss it. Oh my God. I love that they call the app Freedom. It is such smart branding because that is exactly how I feel. I have set up my app to turn off Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, my messengers, my text messages at certain times of the day, at nighttime at a certain time, and I go to pick up my phone out of habit and it's like, boop, nope, can't do it. And I'm like, oh shit. And it literally makes me put my phone down and go do something else. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So you might need some help with that. Okay. But the amount of digital waves that you are consuming and that are disrupting your nervous system is not helping you at all. So making sure that when you're on these devices, you are on them for a purpose that is contributing to your overall well-being and to your business's well-being is super important. The other reason why digital overload is stressful is because it gives you access to the news, whether that's formally on a news site or just generally speaking, people posting about things that are happening in the world. And here's the deal, I am not a fan of toxic positivity. I do not think it is realistic to be in some type of spiritual bubble cocoon where you never pay attention to what's happening in politics, what's happening in social justice in the world, what's happening in the weather, not only do I not think that's realistic, I don't think that's what you should be doing. As a healer that has come to the world to make a positive impact in it, you should know what's happening in the world because that's what your customers and clients are dealing with. And the modalities that you have learned, whether it's tarot or Reiki or you make spell candles, these things are designed and should be designed to help people with their real life problems. And in the real world, people are being negatively impacted by politics, by the weather, by social justice issues. So to ignore those things means you literally won't be able to relate to your clients and customers and know how to use the modalities you've learned to help them. But when you are on these devices, you don't have any control over when and how you get this news. You can be on your phone, and I know all of us have had this happen. Have you, especially since everything going on in Gaza, things going on with the election, how many times have you been on your phone, especially on social media, scrolling, and all of a sudden you see a post about a news feed that hurts your heart, that fills you with fear and anxiety, that maybe even upsets you so much that it makes you cry? Been there? I'm not saying you don't need to know about those things, but maybe right now at that moment was not the best time for you to suddenly get hit with something that sends your anxiety through the roof, that sends fear running through your body, and that throws your nervous system out of whack. So, having digital detoxes, times of the day where you are not on these devices, and setting intentions behind using them, going on these different apps, using these devices for really intentional and purposeful reasons helps you to use them to your advantage and not throw your nervous system out of control. Okay. So we talked about why regulating your nervous system is so important and is not just woo woo, like, I just want to be calm stuff. How your business is directly related to how well you are doing. And therefore, if you are not doing well, then your business is not going to do well. And that's never going to not be the case. We talked about what the nervous system is and what it does and why it's important to understand it. We talked about how you can tell if your nervous system is out of whack, some of the symptoms, some of the signs. And we talked about what you can do about it, most importantly. How can you address your nervous system's issues? How can you better regulate your nervous system so that you are in control of your body instead of the other way around? I am so glad that this is the last topic of our weekly refuels for a while. I am so glad that we are moving on to our weekly co working sessions to start implementing the things we've learned over the last 6 months together. And I'm really glad that we're ending it on this note because all of the education that we have covered is important. But if you are not doing well, you will never be able to implement it anyway. You will never be able to take that education and actually see it pay off in your business. And you will be standing in the way of your own growth. So, by making sure that you are well, you open up the road for all of the blessings and all of the success that you have been working so hard for. Don't let your own body and mind be the thing that stops you from reaching the levels that you want to reach. Okay. So, the weekly refuels are all available for you. If you're in the bunker, they're in the refuel replay list. You can binge watch all of them. If you're on YouTube, they're all in the playlist that this video is in, and you can watch clips of all of our past sessions as well so you can get that education. But what I really want you to do now is I want you to start implementing that. And I want to invite you to our expansion sessions, which are kicking off on Sunday, July 6th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. We will be meeting in the bunker meeting room, which is that room right there on the screen. And we're going to be co working together. There'll be music playing in the background. I'm going to start each session off with an intention, maybe with some breath work just to get us in the right vibe. And then we're going to spend 2 hours just working on our own personal projects, working on our own businesses together in community. We have the chat, which is the black box over on the right. And that is where we'll be able to talk to each other. It's also where you'll be able to talk to me. So if you're working on your YouTube channel, if you're working on your new website and you have questions, you want recommendations, you can talk to me in the chat. So it's a great opportunity for you to be able to pick my brain without setting up a full on session or enrolling in a program while you decide if you're ready for that. Okay. You'll also be able to chat with all of the other witches that are in the room. So you'll be able to build your community. So for those of you that feel like you're alone, you're the only entrepreneur in your friend group, the only spiritual practitioner in your family, or whatever the case may be, this is going to be a great way for you to meet the other 85 or so witches that are currently enrolled in the bunker. To join the bunker, the link is down below in the description. I'll probably drop it again in the comments for ease. When you come in, you get a free 7-day trial. Do me a favor, take advantage of that 7-day trial. Do not just ignore it. Come in during that 7 days, introduce yourself, attend some of our live events, scroll through the recommendation feed and get resources and information and see what the bunker is all about. At the end of the 7 days, you can decide if you want to stick around. And I think you will. All right. So I'm going to go into the bunker right now and take any questions that the bunker witches have about regulating their nervous systems and working on their businesses. And for those of you on YouTube, I am going to head out, but you know where to find me. I will be in the bunker. If you found this video useful, if you found this information helpful to you, definitely make sure to like this video. I want you to subscribe to this channel if you're not here already, because if you're trying to grow your spiritual or wellness business, that is what I am all about. I want to help you do that. And I have tons of videos. There's like 400 videos on this channel by now, but I have tons of videos to help you with that and more to come. So you're going to want to subscribe so that you don't miss it. And I recommend turning on the bell notification as well, because I'd be here, I'd be there, and you want to know when things are posted. All right, witches, enjoy the rest of this beautiful Friday. I will see you all in our expansion session on the 6th. I can't wait for those to get started. And if you ever have any questions, just drop them down in the comments. I got you. All right, witches, see you later. Blessed be.